Hello, and welcome back to the TheRoughMix Podcast, the most consistent podcast on all of YouTube. We only took a 8-month break, I believe, but we are back and we are here hopefully for good. I'm not going to say hopefully, we're actually here for good, for sure. This is really it. So, as always, we got Coach Koopa, we got my dog Eli, or y'all some hooligans. We got Vic, and we got myself, Trunks. So I think for this episode, we're gonna let it kind of come back to how we usually were, and we're gonna first of all talk about how and why. I mean, not how, but why we took such a long break. I would say number one thing that happened to us is we were on our last 3 months of school, and we're all just we're just trying to get done with school and finish up, and now we're all done with our school now. So we all just finished school. We just worked, and we kind of just stopped making episodes. But there's a lot of things that happened along the way that we'll talk about in future episodes. But I would also like to say now we're in the quarantine, so now we have no excuse to not be making episodes. So if anybody would like to discuss what's been going on since the coronavirus, go ahead.
Yo. We finished up school, worked on a cool little collaborative album. I've been making music with a bunch of new people. Staying busy, trying to work on what we're doing, making beats, getting back to the beats again. Took a little break to work on engineering for a few months and really try to focus on that. And we were getting to the end of school, so I was trying to, stay on top of it. But working on beats again, working with new people, just trying to work. And now with Corona, like you said, there's no reason to not just get at it. So it's pretty much been it. Work.
Pretty good. All right, Jordan, how about yourself, sir?
Wow, really been 8 months. A lot has happened. So yeah, like Eli was saying, the last thing that I can remember. So it's a lot of things to look back on because we've been super productive since then. But probably, the collaborative project, it was called Project 96. It was from the school that these guys go to and some outside influences coming in and just creating. And that was a lot of fun. That was a first for us to really be in a room with that many artists and that many producers and that many engineers at one time. So I'd say that definitely elevated how we look at things and how we work. Other than that, just been having a lot of artists at the house since then. I think in that process we moved too, so we're all in a new house. And me personally, I've been working on some Photoshop just to stay busy during the quarantine, picking up new skills in these 8 months, getting a lot better at beats because just been having more time to do that, been steady grinding on that, and also making this collab album with an artist named Mars. Hopefully we'll have him on here soon too, maybe for an interview or something. But yeah, just growing a lot in these 8 months. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to sum it up.
Lots of good stuff. I actually want to say another thing that I don't think anybody ever knew. Oh, also, another thing to point out is that we are on Zoom right now. So because of this whole coronavirus thing, we're not all in the same house anymore. So all of us are doing this through Zoom, via Zoom. So sorry about any technical difficulties. Also, another thing from the beginning is what Jordan was saying is that I don't think anybody ever knew that we moved into a house together. I don't think we ever mentioned that before because I believe the last episode was almost around the same time we were moving in. I believe, I can't quite remember. But yeah, we all lived in the same house. We still do technically because, we still all have the lease together. But Vic and Eli are back at their parents' house for right now because of this whole coronavirus. And me and Jordan are the only ones at the house currently. But for now, we're going to be doing this via internet, the interwebs on Zoom. and hopefully try to make the best out of it. And we just really want to try to push some more podcasts out for you guys, for the people who really enjoy this. Besides that, go ahead, Vic. Talk about what you've been up to since we graduated school.
All right. Well, so like I'm still like going to school. So like I just been doing like school. Mostly online school, and then like making beats, like a lot of beats. I've been doing like a lot more like on my BeatStars, like a lot more focus on it. I'm uploading at least two a day, at least one a day. I've been trying to do two a day, and like been mixing like a lot of projects. And then like since school, like moving in, and then like there's so much that happened. But, like to sum it up, it's like we did like a collaborative little project with like people from our school and all local artists from the Bay Area. Me and Esteban, me and Trunks got the internships at a recording studio called The Grill Recording Studio in Emeryville. We got like I got a few other ones at a few other studios. Like just connecting with more artists, a lot more engineering. We'll talk more like about the artists, like of course later on, because there's like so much. But yeah, just like a lot more artists, a lot more beats. I'd say a lot more engineering though, from like now to like how it used to be. Like a lot more engineering.
Yeah, in future episodes, since this is just the first episode back, we're just gonna be talking this is a very brief episode, but after these episodes, we've got a lot of things planned out to touch on a lot of topics that we've been discussing just recently in this episode. Also to touch on what Vic was saying, how we did an internship. We did that for around 3 months, and me and Vic and Eli and Jordan will do a whole episode on just the podcast, on just the internship we had and how and our opinions and how our experience was there. But also, I think another thing I want to discuss about in this podcast is how to stay productive during this whole COVID-19 like pandemic, the shutdown, lockdown kind of thing, of like how to stay productive while you're just at home, especially someone like all of us who are in music, who are in production, who's mostly all through computer. Like there's no, like, you shouldn't have an excuse. Oh, I can't get to a studio. I can't get to somewhere to make music. Like for most people who are in this industry, all have a laptop. So I don't think anybody should be making the excuse of like, I don't have the right equipment, because you don't need to go to the studio to make beats. Like you have a laptop. Even if you don't have speakers, as long as you have a laptop, you can make beats. You can make hits off of just laptop speakers. You don't even need to. It doesn't matter about the speakers. It doesn't matter. Just worry about making music, making beats. Don't get me wrong. Like mixing and MacBook speakers isn't probably something you want to do. But not to say that they don't slap. They slap for sure. But actually, my bad. Let me take that. I said my bad. They slap for surely. I'm out here in the Bay. I got to represent.
90% of the music, or not 90, but like almost 75 or 80% of the music is actually listened through the laptop speakers nowadays. So if you can make it sound good through there, then it's going to sound good any speakers.
I notoriously mix through laptop speakers. Y'all already know.
That is true. That is a sauce from Eli himself.
This man, like, dead ass, just does not even use the studio. Like, he sits on the couch in the living room on the Mac, playing it right out of the speakers. Like every time he makes beats, like hits us up, plays it through the Mac speakers. Like, and yeah, it still slaps every time. Like that's just a hidden gem.
It's the vibes, honestly.
That's what it is. But also, all right. So what I wanted to try to get into is letting everybody kind of just throw around some ideas, just to wrap up the video. Throw around some ideas about how do you stay productive, like ourselves, and like tips we could give people to stay productive. For me, I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying during the whole shutdown, since we're home like all day, like some people still have work. Don't get me wrong. The people who work essential jobs are still working. Like me and Jordan are still working like 3 to 4 days a week. But since we have a lot more time on our hands now, what I've been doing, and I can only speak so much for Jordan, is like we've been picking up a lot of Photoshop skills to try to make our own. Like we're trying to up our YouTube game up, and just our whole like branding kind of step, like making our branding kind of pop out a little bit more. So we've been doing like some Photoshop for our beat covers, on YouTube, and for BeatStars, and like logo work also. We're trying to build on somewhat of on branding. So like there's another thing that some people out there like you guys could do is work on your branding and on your brand, and that's just something I could think of off the top. And also another thing is, I think another very like underrated tip I would say is to like file organization again, like because during the busy times, you might not have saved it in the right place. You might have moved a lot of things around. Like clean up your laptop, clean up like your files, and all that, and really just try to like make your workflow a lot cleaner. And I think it'll help out a lot. But go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead, say some stuff.
Yeah. Basically all that in a little bit. Yeah, file organization. I mean, now's the time to do it. Like literally, I know you have 30 minutes of free time a day to just be able to like sit down, go through your files, whether it's like you make beats and it's like drum kits, you need to focus on getting organized because they're like scattered, FLPs, whatever other project files from whatever DAW you're using, like make sure you're organizing them. I think we touched in a previous episode, maybe like one of the very first episodes, like how to name, your beats so that, engineers won't hate you. So it's like, looking back at those, you should know how to name them. So now it's just about, like for me, I have finished beat FLPs as a folder. So like project files in one folder. And then I have MP3s, waves, and if you're working a lot with an artist or sending your beats out to someone who's definitely like recording on them, like in a studio or even at home, you want to create a folder for your stems as well for each of your beats. That'll go a long way and make your job a lot easier. And also having all of those folders saved on not only one but two drives, whether it's like a USB, a hard drive, anywhere but the cloud, to be honest, because that's how shit gets leaked. So yeah, file organization for sure. Branding is what personally I've been doing a lot of, me and Trunks, just focusing on like ways to, really elevate that. So Photoshop has been a big one that I picked up. And, trying to see like where I want to go with the brand, like little things here and there. It's going to be different for everyone, but little things here and there that I can incorporate like in my music and how I move and how I post on social media that, like is really a defined signature for my brand that, someone hears it once or like sees it once and they'll like know it's me from that point on, like wherever they see it. So, really an unmistakable presence is what I think is a good thing to try and reach. Also been focusing a lot on marketing with that being said. So, once you're trying to establish your brand, like if you're making beats, like I'm focusing on selling more online now, since everyone's in the house, like you can't really go to the studio with this whole like isolation thing or social distancing thing. So really just focusing on like online beat selling. So incorporating Photoshop into making YouTube thumbnails and putting that out, as well as like BeatStars, leveling that up. And probably the only thing other than that I do is just trying to make beats consistently. Like I think this month will be one out of like the entire time I've been making beats, like either in first place or second of like most beats in a month, and just trying to like reach out, find different inspiration and like really be as productive as possible and like really try and like grow more musically. I feel like we all have time to do those three things in this whole corona, especially if you're not working right now. But yeah, other than that, like I have some things that I feel like, are very like particular. So like right now I'm working on an album, so I'm focusing more on the business side of that. And since it's not just like sending a beat out to an artist and then like them maybe hopping on it. Like I'm doing like a full collab album. So like the entire album is my beats. So like I'm focusing more on the business side of that, like coming up with things like press releases and places to market, studying up on Google Analytics, which even if you're not working on an album or focusing on that sort of thing, like you could still incorporate Google Analytics to like posting on YouTube and anywhere like on the internet, basically. Like that'd be another really good thing to learn. But other than that, that's really like all I've been focusing on outside of work to try and like level up my game. But what do you have to say about that, Vic?
So like the whole like file organization thing, I was say like that's a huge thing because like it does help out a lot, especially like if you're sending beats. If you send beats like online through email, which most people do nowadays, unless you're sending like a Dropbox or a WeTransfer link, it's like you can't send waves as easy. And like a lot of artists, like, you know, no offense or anything, but like a lot of artists, it's kind of hard sometimes for them to open a wave because they want to do it on their phone. They want to like check it out right then and there. Like, you know, I get it and everything. So the easiest way is to do like an MP3. But like if you have all your shit or all your stuff like scattered, like your waves somewhere, your MP3s, like it's hard to like organize. So if you have like all your MP3s in one, all your waves one, all your stems, and then all your FLPs or like your files from your DAW, like it's really organized and you can see like you're completed, you're incompleted. I was gonna say like since we're using Zoom, we could do like a screen share. Like since we're all like separate for this quarantine, like we can all like probably just like show like a quick like how we all do it because we're all pretty organized. We all have like the same way we do it, but we all do it like slightly different. Everyone just has like, you know, like everything. Everyone does something slightly different. It's just like ways so people can see like how we organize it and like just like so you can learn off of that. And then like something else you can do is also for this whole thing is like master what you're trying to do, like because like, you know, because none of us have work right now, we all have so much more time to do stuff. Because like when we had work in school and I had to go to school, like, you know, I didn't have that much time, but now like, you know, I can make like 2-3 beats a day, a beat a day, or mix a song at least a day, or, you know, get all this stuff ready. It's like now I have time to like really put all my effort into like things that I was like lacking in, like my beat stars, like selling beats. You know, I was kind of focusing too like a lot on mixing, so I wasn't going fully onto the beats. So like more on like how to sell beats online, because that's a whole different approach like than like being in the studio with someone selling beats. It's just like a different vibe, a whole different just like feel like yeah, it's just different. So just things like that. And I mean, yeah, and then just trying to like just learn new things, like how like you guys picked up Photoshop. And, like I used to be pretty into Photoshop and Illustrator, like back in high school, like my first year, 2 years in college. But and like now I'm starting to get back into it too because I have the time. It's like, you know, now I don't have to go and look at images online or like find shit online, like take it or like have to worry about stuff like that. I could just create my own stuff. Like if you guys would see our screen right now, like we all have like a logo or a brand for the most part, like already. And like, you know, that's pretty sick. And like, that's something like everybody should do. Everybody should build a logo or a brand because like, that's what you think about like for everything. Like that's the main thing. Like that's what sells. So, yeah.
What about my man, Eli? What's up with you, man? You a little shy, man. Come on, man.
Kind of what they're saying, it would be, I think, beneficial and good to like show what we do with a bunch of stuff. Now that we have this chance with Zoom, we can show our file stuff. We can show, you know, mixing tips. I know that's down the road. You know, I don't want to give out, you know, too much hints at the next episode. So I'll stop there. I don't want to give out too many clues, but I think it would be cool to show different stuff because we all have different ways. We've been doing that since the beginning, talking about, you know, making beats, how we start our stuff, how we structure. I think it helps with all aspects of this stuff. I think it would also be cool for whoever watches to maybe send in stuff. send in mixes or send in songs or whatever we could possibly do. And we can critique or not critique or just listen. Oh, it's Jordan. Jordan's mic's still unmuted.
Oh, my bad.
Yo, you interrupted my TED Talk, fool.
I know. I was looking through. I'm currently in Eli's setup because he left the house, so I took over his room because it's just cozier than my studio. So I was like looking through his drawers and shit, and I found a gaming mouse. And I'm like super hyped now.
What?
Wow, he's literally, that's a lick.
Yo,
I literally just hit a lick on you in 5 dimes.
Yo, it's good.
I'm up now.
Good.
That's all I gotta say.
It's good. But yeah, I think it would be fun to do some little trials or whatever on this Zoom thing, since we have the chance to now, since it's free. Whether people want to see maybe the more beat side or mixing side or both, or if we want to bring people in. I know we want to do, talking about the Mars interview or whatever. Shout out my dog, run up Joe Exotic and Confrontation.
Shout out Mars, honestly.
Produced by the goats right here. Yo. But I don't have much to say on top of what they were saying, because I think that covers it mostly for files and all that, and just staying on top of your shit while because you can get kind of hectic with nothing going on.
I got something to say too. So since the whole Zoom thing, it does, I gotta be honest, it does make stuff real easy for us to show you guys our screens. We can start showing you guys our whole setup for our sessions, and even making beats, and there's a lot of little things that we can maybe just show or explain, little things that just help, how they help me, little things that have helped me, and shortcuts. We're pretty, all around, we're all pretty good at shortcuts. And then we can also do some things where you guys can hear some of their stuff, or we can listen to other people's stuff, or just yo, my bad.
Yo, cursed image.
Yo. Hey, it's my bad. Jordan just shared his screen right now and some weird shit popped up. But yeah, it'd be cool for you guys to see our stuff, and we can see your guys' stuff, and we can all just it'd be a critique. And we're not, all of us aren't experts. A lot of us have now seen professional areas or have been around that stuff, but we're not experts. We're all still learning too. You're always gonna be learning. So it's yeah. Oh, also, I think some of us we should all throw out or shout out our social media stuff, because we all have a lot more stuff now, and you guys can see what we have been working on since we haven't been doing the rough mix, because there's been a lot of stuff. We'll be talking about it, of course, down the line, but a lot has happened, I would say.
A lot has happened. It has indeed, Vic. At the end, we'll do the whole shouting out of the Instagram. It's usually how it goes. Sorry guys, we have a rookie on our team. That's not how this usually works.
Yeah, we're rookie. We've been on every episode.
Yeah, he has, but he still doesn't know how it goes. Anyways, what I was going to add on to everything that we've been talking about, because as everybody's been talking, I've been thinking about a lot of tips to give you guys, is to always retouch. There's always room for improvement. Every time, no matter how good you think you are, there's always a way to get better. So watch those tutorials you've been putting off. Watch videos on watch a lot of behind the beats. All those behind the beats, they have all made hits. Every single one of them. That's why they're on behind the beat. Learn from them. Learn the tips. The tips they give you. Learn the sauce that they have with the hi hats. Learn some 808s. Do the Roddy Rich 808. It's just learn everything you can off those behind the beats, because they all made hits. So learn from them so you can make hits yourself. Watch a bunch of engineering videos if you want to become an engineer. Watch a producer producing videos on how to make beats if you are wanting to start becoming beats. But there's always, even if even all of us, we all still watch some tutorials. I know we all still watch some tutorials because we're not the best beat makers. You know, there's always ways to get better. I watch Jordan, and I think Jordan, no offense to everybody else, but I think Jordan is the best melody. Like, he makes his own melody. Like, he's the best melody maker, creator, whatever, out of this whole house. And he still watches Nick Mira live streams. You know, he's always trying to get better.
Those aren't even my melodies, dog.
It's true.
Going Looperman.
I was also gonna say, for like right now is a good time too for like producers. Like, I know like a lot of producers don't really focus too much on the mixing part. Like, not too many people, but like it's a huge part in like even making beats. Like, you don't have to know that much, but if you know enough, it can really make your beats improve. Like, if you have one beat that's mixed horribly and then you have another one that's mixed better, but the one that's mixed horribly maybe has like a cooler like rhythm, but the one that's not is mixed better isn't as good. Like, people are gonna pick the one that's mixed better. It sounds more professional. Like, no one wants something that sounds like ass. It's like, if you learn like the right things, you can make your 808s hit harder, your kicks. Like, it'll just give you a feel for more things, and like that's just all stuff that can add to your whole creative process once you like learn those things. And it's like, you know, even as a producer, you can watch some engineering videos and like, you know, it's interesting stuff, and it's all in the same field of what like we're doing. So it's good. It's helpful.
Yeah. Another thing is, every good song that you hear and the song, like, you're like, dang, how did you get the kick to hit so hard, the 808 to hit so hard? It doesn't have to do with the engineer. Don't get me wrong, it does, but it all starts with the producer. It all starts with the beat. No matter how you start the beat, how you level it, and how you, the person who decides how the beat goes, you're the reason why the beat sounds like you're the reason why the song hits as hard as it does. And then the engineer just enhances what you're doing. That's what the engineer's job is to enhance the beat overall, and within the lyrics of with the song. But another thing that, as I was saying with the videos, is never always make room for improvement, because I know for a fact, I could tell you, every single one of us, all four of us, and everybody who's ever been on the RoughMix podcast, everybody loves music. We're all in it because we're in this game, we're in this industry because we love music. We love to make beats, we love to engineer, we love everything that comes with it. We love to record artists, we love the experience of making music. This is why we started making music. This is why, you have to have a passion behind it. Don't just do this because you think it's cool to post on Instagram that you're making beats. Don't just make beats because you think it's cool. You have to love it in order to actually make something out of it. So that's just a little inspiration I want to give like to people out there. So also, as Vic was saying about, like, I think it was Vic or Eli, we're talking about later on showing, I think it was Eli. Yeah, being able to show like screens. I think Eli and Vic were both saying this, share screens. So honestly, we should be able to all, like, all four of us can definitely help out someone with, if they show us, or my bad, if they send us their FLP, and we'll be able to critique their beat. Maybe we can help them make the kicks hit harder, the hi-hats or be a little brighter, or like any little tips we could definitely provide with all of us looking at like screen sharing. So for right now, I think that's it for this episode. We'll be making tons of episodes in the future, so don't be sad about, this episode, is there going to be like another 8 months till the next one? No, there's definitely going to be way more episodes, especially during this whole quarantine thing. So, and if this is your first episode that you've watched, make sure to go check out our other 9 that have been out before this, because this is now our 10th episode. And I hope to see everybody come back and I hope everybody comes back and is hyped for the RoughMix podcast again, because I know we all are, and we have a lot more experience in our field. So we're ready to share it all with you. But for now, my name's been Trunks. My Instagram is @ProdTrunks, PRODTRUNX.
What's up? Coach Koopa, aka Jordan. All social media, Coach Koopa, COACHCOUPA. No underscores, no spaces, none of that. And that's everywhere. BeatStars, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. All the same.
Yeah, for me, it's on everything like Twitter, Instagram, um, uh, BeatStars, TikTok, everything is just Ayo Vic. Some of them have an underscore underneath, but you just type me in, I'll probably pretty much be the only one up there. And then like my Spotify too is just v.i.c, and then like all my links to like songs I've produced and stuff like that is all linked up to that.
On Instagram, y'all can find me at y'all some hooligans. Exactly how it sounds. It's exactly how it's spelled. Nothing else. My Spotify is Hooligan Beats. I only have one thing up there right now, but more will be up soon. There is music I've put out. I got to get a link. We all got to make links, honestly, to all of our stuff. I got to put up like a source or something so you can just go to directly to all my music. That's in the works too. Quarantine. It's time to quarantine is. Yo, sorry, Jordan's just blowing up the chat right now. But yeah, I think it was a good first Zoom X rough mix late night. Signing out. Shout out to Chanel West Coast. Shout out to
honestly everybody. If you have Instagram, go to Chanel West Coast and you'll see one of the songs that Jordan and I produced for one of the artists that we all work with heavily. She's dancing to a song. Check it out. It almost has like 1 million views. You guys would love it.
It's got lots of ass, lots of twerking. You don't want to miss this one.
Wait, hold on.
Yo, this is a child-friendly podcast, fool.
No, not even that.
Sorry.
Not even that. Wait,
We didn't produce it, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Wait, what? Chanel West Coast.
Oh shit. My bad. We didn't produce that song. For an artist that we have produced a song and Jordan's making his album, she's dancing to one of his songs. It's a banger, Joe Exotic. That's all I gotta say. Listen to it.
Look up Joe Exotic on anywhere, on any platform. It's probably one of the top 3. It's by King Mars. Shit is fire.
All right, that was good. First episode.